Hey, you guys. Andrea Cox here. How are all of you? Just tuning in here. I hope my signal's good. So I'm going to ask all of you if you can hear me clearly, if you can see me clearly, if you can please click the thumbs up button. That will help to let me know that I'm coming through clear on here. Let me X out this little box really quickly so I can see what I'm doing. X. Okay. Those of you who are joining me on Facebook, I'm also live on the Detox Intuitive. It's my new spiritual channel. I have two YouTube channels, Andrea Cox TV and the Detox Intuitive. Let's make sure you guys can see and hear me real quick. I think this is going to be a cool video, but sometimes there's a little bit of cutout on full moons, especially since we're in retrograde season. Let's see. You guys can hear and see me clearly. Hey, Stacy Cox. How are you, beautiful? Can you hear me clearly? Okay, I hope you guys can hear me clearly. Just let me know in the comments section by telling me where you're tuning in from, and that'll let me know that you guys can hear me clearly. Hey, Rebecca will let me know. Rebecca, am I coming? Okay, great. I sound great. I look and sound great. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hi, you guys. So I thought this would be a cool video to do because we're in the my sister who's a Capricorn who is logged on here, Stacy. So, you know, this is probably an intense full moon for her. She's got her sun in Capricorn, but I'm pretty sure she has her moon in Pisces. I love that combination of Pisces and Capricorn. There's someone else that I know that has that combination, and it's a beautiful combination of emotions and work. So yeah, I thought I would come on here for all of you and first of all ask you how this full moon has been, how this retrograde season has been, and here's why. This is a time, this full moon is allowing us to get rid of whatever is not real. So what do I mean by whatever is not real? Is fake in our life, fake relationships, fake people, you know, things that we don't want in our lives anymore, situations, bad habits that we were doing. A lot of you, if you followed the past few months, if you followed my videos, you'll see quite a difference in myself, and you may even see a difference in yourself from just letting go of bad habits. And I know you're thinking to yourself, well, Andrea, what are your bad habits? You're vegan, I have a lot of bad habits. I had negative thinking. I had habits of speaking things that were on my mind that really would have been better left unsaid. I had habits of not telling the truth all the time. You know, we all have bad habits. And so now is the time to actually release those. And what I've been doing is I've been working up and releasing a lot of things there, you know, even supplements that I was taking that weren't healthy for me. I eliminated all caffeine. I don't even do cold pressed coffee. And even though I only did that for a period of like a year and a half, it was having an ill effect on me. So now is that time. It is the time to release bad habits, release the excess weight, release the wife or the husband if they're fooling around, release the person that you know maybe wants something from you but doesn't want more from you. Release, 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 let go. And I am going to give you 5, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 5 examples of what I do on every full moon. So example number 1 is tea. I've got 3 of my favorite teas here. I've got Shilajit. Shilajit is excellent for the mind. It's excellent for memory. It's actually, they've done studies, I believe Shilajit for cognitive well-being for, don't quote me, but I'm almost positive it's good to keep the mind healthy. So, you know, for Alzheimer's, things like that. I have a blood tonic tea. here, and I've got an energy kui tea. So I'm going to, of course, I'm fasting. That's on the list as well. I fast on the full moon because it's easier to release when we fast. So in the Bible, it says, and when you fast, do not look gloomy like the hypocrites, for they disfigure their faces to others. It says basically to, when you're fast, to keep it to yourself. Now I'm sharing it with you today because the power of fasting is all encompassing. I fasted for 20 years and it has allowed me to release people, homes, states. I've moved out of Ohio 9 years ago, almost to the day. It was like a week ago, 9 years ago, and moved to California with my handbag and my dog. So it allows you to release, and that was after a long period of sustained fasting. Fasting allows you to release a lot. So what I like to do is I like to make full moon tea. And I recycle, these are GTS kombucha bottles. And I had one, I was drinking this all day today when I was downtown. And I'll just show you an example. So this one, I still need to get all the stuff off the outside of it. But what I usually do is I just open my tea, and I like loose leaf tea. This smells delicious. It's actually got cacao nibs in it. So it's a really, really good tea. It's one of my favorites. And I'll just, use my hand as a funnel. It's got goji berries, shilajit, lots of good stuff in here. And I will pour some spring water that I harvested, and I will put this out under the moonlight, and then I will let it absorb the sunshine tomorrow. So it's got the energy from the sun, and it's got the blessing of the full moon. And I might even take a piece of paper and write something that I'm releasing under the tea, put it on the piece of paper under the tea. And that way, when I drink it throughout the week, I know that I'm releasing that habit or poor way of thinking or person or place or whatever I need to release in order to move forward in my life. So that is one thing I do. And I made this on just a regular day, but I wrote my intention and I drank this all day. And I got to tell you, it is really allowing me to release a habit that I was not proud of. And I believe this one is Gynostemma tea, but I'm just going to take a quick drink. Empowered by the sun, charged by the moon. Love it. The next thing I do is I burn copal. So you guys have heard me talk about copal, and a lot of you're familiar with things like Palo Santo, which I have burning over there, or sage, but you're not familiar with copal. Copal is burned during death rituals in, I think Mexico they do it, and also, is it Morocco? Something like that. I don't know. It's a really cool incense. You'll see it's thicker than other incense. It's like a gray. I'll just show you a close-up of it. So you got to be careful with copal because when you light it, it gives a scent off that is really powerful, and your house will literally smell like smoke, like a really, really powerful smoke, like you won't be able to kind of see the air. That's good copal. If it doesn't smoke heavily, that's not good copal. Now, copal is, and I want to hold it over here, copal is excellent for, you can cleanse your body, you can, I often, I'll take my hair, I do this with the tarot, with my oracle decks, things of that nature. I'm going to just stick this right over here for now. But you want to make sure that you, when you're done burning the copal, that you open your windows and air out your house, especially if you have little ones or doggies. And also, while you're burning the copal, it's good to have your dogs outside or away from the area that you're burning, because like I say, it's almost like seeing a fog, right? Thank you for liking this video. I appreciate it. And please feel free to share it in any spiritual groups here on YouTube or just on your page or anything like that. And keep telling me where you're tuning in from. Also, copal is excellent for release as well. I would never burn copal on a new moon. I would never burn copal when I'm writing down positive intentions. I burn copal when I'm releasing something or I'm letting go of something negative in my life or a habit or something that I am doing. That's when I burn copal. Now, that brings me to the next thing that I do. Number 3, I take some really pretty colored pencils. I take a sheet of paper and I write a list of what I want to release. Usually I have earth, air, fire, water. I have a little placemat in the other room that I made with, it was a really old placemat. I'll just grab it. I'll grab it. Why not grab it? So I made this like a few months ago and I love it. You can see nothing will come off of it. And I have fire for a candle. For air, I have feathers that I found on a walk and a little stick that Roger dragged in. For air, I have that. For earth, I have a piece of wood, another stick that Roger brought in. And for water, usually I put a glass of water here, but I have a lapis stone because it's blue and it stands for water. Usually I just set this down and I put my piece of paper in the center and I write down what I just want to release, what I want to let go of, what has been bothering me over the past 30 days that it is time to release, what's been bothering me over the past, that you can have things that bother you for 30 years. You can have things that bother you for, 30 weeks, 30 months. So I write down things I am ready to release, and then I release them as I light the candle. I release them as I burn the copal. I don't return. And sometimes we don't want to write down what we want to release because we think it's still good for us. But there comes a time where you have to write down what really will not serve you moving forward in your life. And so my list is not near as long as my list was 6 months ago, but the list has something very powerful on it tonight that I am releasing, and I am sure never to look back towards. And that is a powerful way of interjecting your personal power over your life to release things, people, habits, negative situations, homes, anything like that that feels very karmic to you. Okay. So another thing that I do on every full moon is I charge my crystals. Now, there's a big misconception out there about charging crystals. You do not have to put them all outside. You can actually put them in your windowsill to charge them. Just stick them in your windowsill. My windowsills are pretty packed. I have a lot of crystals, big crystals, medium-sized crystals, small crystals. I have jewelry. This will go in the window tonight. I have jewelry in the windowsills. I probably shouldn't say that, but I've got cameras, so no big deal. But I do this, and it is very powerful. You can rearrange your crystals the next day. I always have fun. I spend 30 minutes. Most people would say that's a waste of time. I probably spend an hour actually rearranging my crystals in different areas of my home. It just makes me happy because they're so pretty. So that is another thing I do is I charge my crystals. So tea, I burn the copal, I charge my crystals, I write in order to release, and I fast. Fasting is so powerful, like I said before. The power of fasting will change your life. Nobody ever died from skipping a meal. They lived. They live. That is a quote from Gil Jacobs, and I believe in giving people credit for their work. So Gil Jacobs, you told me that 15, 20 years ago, and that is a powerful statement, and I believe in that. Nobody ever died from skipping a meal. They lived. And nobody ever died from skipping a couple meals. You guys know I vlogged 20-day fast, 10-day fast. I've done all of that. Nobody ever died from skipping those meals. They lived. So empower yourself by dropping the fork and going within. A lot of times we don't like to fast because we have to look at our stuff. We have to actually look at what is deep inside of us that we don't want to face, that we're not in love with, someone we've been with for however many years, and that's why we bicker so much, for 25 years or whatever, or that something isn't emotionally satisfying to us, right? We stay in these situations, these work situations, these personal situations, any situation that doesn't feed us on a soul level, situations that aren't emotionally fulfilling to you. What is not emotionally fulfilling to you? Release it. Why did I do this in my kitchen? I don't know, because it's Tasty Tuesdays, and I usually am in my kitchen. I just thought of that. One more thing, and I want to mention this. So I don't allow a lot of interaction into my space surrounding a full moon, or even during retrograde season. And a lot of people, they misunderstand that. They think, oh God, she's blown me off, or we're supposed to have lunch and she's not showing, or she's not, no, I'll cancel. And the reason is because first of all, I don't think we should sign contracts during retrograde. I don't think we should start new situations or things we want to work. I don't want to do that during retrograde season. But also, my energy is greatly affected around the full moon, as I'm sure yours is. Also on new moons, to some extent. We have a full moon and a new moon every month. Sometimes we have more than one. And be cognizant of that. I have someone coming over tonight to pull out my dishwasher because there's someone installing a new dishwasher tomorrow, and I've got someone hauling this one away. And I already left him a message. I said, look, I'm probably not going to be too talkative. I really appreciate you coming over. I know it's late. I'm really grateful for you, but I'm probably going to be a little more quiet. And we vibe like a tribe, and he's completely cool. He's one of the few people that I allow into my space and that knows me, a little more well than other people. Because even if we're public and we're on social media and we have YouTube channels, doesn't mean we lead public lives and we allow anyone into our lives. I'm extremely selective of who enters my front door, extremely. So, I just wanted to put that in there. I'm even a little more, it's not guarded, it's protective. I protect my energy because I'm energy sensitive. I'm a Pisces with the Scorpio moon and Scorpio rising. And when you have that many water placements, your energy can get easily thrown off, especially if you have a water moon. If you have a water moon, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio moon, you're especially sensitive. Now, this is a Capricorn full moon. This is all about releasing the things that are not real, that do not serve us, that do not keep us emotionally satisfied, that are needing to be released and have needed to be released for some of us for months or years. Now, if you have done the work, you've already released it and you are feeling really good around this full moon. If not, you probably have a little more work to do. I was around someone today and I could tell her energy was very full moon-esque, right? That there was some stuff she needed to release. I kept thinking, okay, I'm paying her to talk to me that way. But it's okay, right? It's okay because we all go through those. And there have been times where I'm sure clients of mine have been like, okay, I'm paying her to talk to me that way. So we all go through these fluctuations, but when we recognize it, it's important to change it. And I hope my dog doesn't knock this whole setup down. I don't think he is. And that's what's important to know. So enjoy this Capricorn full moon. Enjoy it with your family. Enjoy it with your friends, or enjoy it alone. Charge your crystals. Take your jewelry off with crystals in it. Put them in the windowsill. Burn you some incense. If you don't have any copal, you can grab something else. Put some tea. If you don't have any tea, you can put water, full moon water. Charge your water. I have a video on that. All of these things can and should be done under the full moon. And here's another thing. Right before I logged on here, I saw someone, and I'm probably going to delete her right when I'm done with this because it's such absolute bullshit. And she was making fun of this kind of thing. And I really like the girl because I like her standpoint on, I think she has like 5 kids. I like her standpoint on vaccines. I like her standpoint on food and things like that. but we are all different. I was raised, you know, my grandma was religious. She read the Bible to me. She used to sing Bible songs to me. I became a born again Christian. And a few years ago, something switched. And I feel like God lives within all of us, in all of our hearts. And I feel like I have my own special type of spirituality. And I think all of you do too. Maybe some of you are like me. You were raised Catholic, you were raised Christian. And there's, you know, certain aspects that you're pulling now and certain things you're releasing from maybe your upbringing or past life, whatever it may be. No, there's no one way or the highway. So when I see a post like that, it makes me feel sad in my heart. Okay. That, you know, to me, there's a lot of different religions, and I don't want to get into this, but judgment should not be a part of any religion at all. And if it is, you might want to look into that. And that's all I have to say about that. You guys, I hope you have a beautiful night. I would love to show a beautiful meal to you. I will make a beautiful meal for you next Tuesday on Facebook on my Andrea Lee Cox page, and I'll upload it to Andrea Cox TV on YouTube. And if you're joining me from the Detox Intuitive, thank you so much. And thank you for liking this video, for sharing it. Have a beautiful full moon. Grab some colored pencils. You know, they're like $1.99 at the store. Grab a notebook on sale. Write down what you want to release. It's not what you want to come in. It's a full moon. It's about releasing. New moon, we invite what we want in. Full moon, we write down what we want to release. Invite earth, air, wind, fire, you know, all of the elements in. And have a relaxing evening. And other than this thing getting removed, I'm going to thoroughly enjoy this beautiful full moon. I might even bathe under the full moon around midnight or something. I get into all that weird stuff. I love, oh, also, gosh, I almost forgot this. You know, salt baths are excellent on full moons. So salt baths, sage baths, things of that nature, excellent, excellent, excellent on full moons. And then my sister Stacy, my beautiful Capricorn sister, enjoy this full moon, sister, because it has your name on it. All right, you guys, I'll see you later. Bye. Bye.